What up, guys? What's going on, guys? I hope you guys been working on your business. I've been dropping a couple of videos. I've been dropping a lot of videos, and they're very helpful. Get ready for today's vid because this is extremely important. So I have this presentation. So online business growth presentation. I think I can be a little bit more specific. So I'm gonna go back. Let's see. Let it load. Let's see. So I think I can come up with a better title. How to get attention for your online business every single day. Now, how's that for a title? I think that's a really good title. Can I not make it like long? Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. It's fine. So, as you can see, I just changed the title. How to get attention for your online business every single day. All right, so first slide. So, a lot of people always avoid doing this, and I'm not saying I spent like 1,000,001 hours doing this, but I think taking that time and setting the foundation for your business, your online business, is very important, because it's essentially like a professional sketchbook. It's essentially like a professional notebook, right? Because an online presence is literally everything, right? And if you're redirecting people to a certain page, which is your landing page or your website, right, you want to feel proud about it, right? You're going to feel official. If you look good, you're going to feel good, and if you feel good, you're going to do good, right? So you want to feel good about your website. Make sure your brand color is on point. Make sure your messaging is right. Make sure the website looks to par. Don't spend 101 hours, like I said earlier on this, but make sure it's something presentable. If somebody or a potential client was to go to your site today, then they would obviously be like, yo, this guy is official. This guy knows what he's doing, or at least he looks like he knows what he's doing. And you can just take from there. Spend time on building your website. Align your website. Make sure your website accurately and actually reflects your brand message and tone, right? So in the same way that your website has to be, good, right? Your social media has to look to par as well. And I know this can be a little scary just starting out, but just put yourself out there. Make sure your social media is on point. Make sure, and depending on your business, you should gravitate towards like a certain platform. I'm starting to see that the Instagram is kind of like an all-in-one platform. Businesses all alike can go on there, but you have to post different content for different different platforms. Like the same kind of content that would be very useful on LinkedIn, right, is probably a little bit different from the content that you post on Instagram, right? I mean, you can cross reference or cross post, right? But if you really know what you're doing, like I think Instagram and LinkedIn is a bad relationship, or a bad combo, because you can actually post the same thing on each platform. But let's say like Twitter, right? Like what you would type on Twitter wouldn't be what you would type in the caption for Instagram, right? So you would just have to know who you're going after, right? Because honestly, more professional and savvy people are going to be on LinkedIn, right? So you would want to talk in that light, right? Versus, let's say, Instagram or even TikTok. I think TikTok is a better, analogy, because it's, on a spectrum. LinkedIn and TikTok are complete opposites when it comes to, who's predominantly on the site or who's predominantly on the platform and whatnot. But what I'm trying to say is link your social media, connect and integrate all your social media accounts to maintain a consistent voice, right? Make sure the colors, and voice also has to do with colors. It's basically personal branding. Personal branding kind of ties in literally everything that I'm talking about, right? And lo and behold, that's the next one. Define branding. Create logos, color schemes, fonts that represent your brand identity across all channels, because you don't want to sound super sophisticated on one channel, right? Which is like Instagram or something like that, and have a different type of style, or not super sophisticated, because LinkedIn you would want to sound like that versus like Instagram. But it's just how you're conveying yourself. Are you direct? Are you like optimistic? Are you like, do you sound hopeful? Like the real people that know how to do this, keep that same energy throughout all channels. Craft messaging that resonates with your audience and use it consistently everywhere, right? That's like how you are talking to your niche, right? And that's literally like brand messaging, right? And I will come up with another video to talk about it another time. But long story short, brand messaging, right? Like, you're basically talking to your client avatar. Client avatar is basically who your target audience is, who is your perfect customer, right? That's your client avatar. So let's say you're a personal trainer that is focusing on mothers, right, over 65, right? Or grandmothers over 65, I guess mothers over 65, right? Like, how you would talk to them wouldn't be the same way you're talking to an 18-year-old teen. Like, you're not gonna say for like marketing or an ad, hey, do you want to feel sexy in a club and attract the most guys as possible? Like, you're not gonna say that to a 65-year-old, right? Like, what you would want to say to a 65-year-old is like, how does it feel to not be able to pick up your grandchildren, right? And not be in pain, right? Like, you would have to list down all the pain problems, figuratively and literally, of your client avatar, and address them, bring them up in your messaging, bring them up constantly, and then pose your solution, your company, right, your product as the solution, right, as the answer. So that's basically messaging. You would want to do all of that. Make sure everything is cohesive, right? By aligning all your assets and channels under a unified brand and message, you'll present a professional, trustworthy image. So once you have your branding and basically your foundation set, now it's game time, right? Like, this is basically another foundation, right? But it's a little bit more like hands-on, a little bit more like in the field, because you're essentially trying to take things over, right? You're trying to take away attention from other people. So now you have to look at it like this. You have to be a little bit aggressive with it, post consistent content, right? So like I just told you, identify the specialty in your niche, right? Identify what it is you're trying to do, right? Identify the goal that you want to have. Like, are you, like, what makes you special in your niche? Because there's a million and one. I'm gonna stick with this fitness influencer kind of creator analogy, just so you guys can see. There's a million and one females trying to help other females in the fitness industry, right? So what would make them specifically turn to you, right? You're basically helping mothers that are over 65, right? Mothers that are over 65, and to even get a little bit more specific, grandmothers over 65, right? So create a content calendar and schedule, right? Come up with, a kind of like a type of content, right? Your signature content. Come up with signature content that is easy for you to produce, right? So you can write 3 pieces of content, 2 to 3 pieces of content per week. And honestly, forget that. Just do it every single day, right? Set yourself up so you can do it literally every single day and be aggressive with it. And you do this because you would want to pose yourself as an authority in your niche, right? I'm that lady, or that personal trainer is that lady that's women over 65 go to if they want to get fit, if they want to pick up their grandchildren, if they want to go outside again, if they want to have fun again, if they want to feel young again, right? That's going to resonate with people, and you're going to attract an audience of people that only want, that solution because they have that problem, right? If you keep posting, if you keep, posing yourself as an authority figure in that niche, those are who you're going to attract, right? So make sure you guys post literally every single day, post consistent content, right? So those were the 2 foundations, right? So now that you have that in play, let's double check that. So you have basically your first foundation, your first set of foundations, which is your website and your basically like your offer, right? I mean, offer obviously, because you should already have that even before you try to even do this, right? So you would have the website and your socials, right? So if somebody even sees your stuff, they're gonna say, oh, it's cohesive and he's a niche authority. Check and check. This guy knows, or this lady knows what she's doing. She helps women that are over 65, right? Get fit again, right? So that's already checked. Now the foundations are set. Those things are there. Now the next part of this thing is driving attention straight onto, those foundations that you just set, right? And you can either do this one of 2 ways. So before I even go into manual and paid advertising, right? So organic alone is going to garner attention just because that's how the algorithm works, but you need to jumpstart it. You don't want to rely on the algorithm, because I've seen people post content so often, right, and no growth, right? You need to take things into your own hands, and this is basically how you do it. So the first option is literally quite literally and figuratively taking into your own hands and doing manual outreach. Manually send your offer or content to prospective customers via email, social media messages, etc., right? So it's something like this. Like you're online and you see an old lady that has grandchildren, right? And she's obviously old, right? So she checks the criteria. She checks all the boxes that you have for your dream client, right? At least from, a first glance standpoint, right? And you would manually, message them just to inquire, right? About some of the things that make them your dream client. But the thing is, be personalized and be genuine, right? You could also look through their account and see what they have and ask them about it. Be genuine, or you could just ask questions. Just be personable and send that first message, and then ease your offer into there, right? Just ease your offer into that, right? There's 1,000,001 videos. I'll probably make another video on this too. Or if you want to talk to me directly on how you can do that, there's a link in my bio, and I'll be more than happy to give you, more specific advice. But manual outreach. So you can either do that one by one, and I'll be honest with you, it's taxing. Because let's say if you want 1,000 people to see, let's say if you want 100 people to see your offer a day, you could either do it yourself or hire a VA, a virtual assistant, for like $3 an hour in like Thailand or India, right? These people are talented and it's worth it for them. So you can either go that route or do it yourself. And this is too, like, I like to pair, manual outreach with the next form of outreach, right? Or it's more convenient, right? Or I like to pair them. With this form of outreach, you have to be disciplined, right? If you're doing it yourself, you have to be disciplined. And more than 9 times out of 10, people are not disciplined enough to do that. All right, so next is what I usually prefer, or what I usually recommend, which is paid advertising, right? And that's just running paid ads on platforms like Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, to drive targeted traffic to your offer. It's very easy, right? So just follow the prompts on each advertising software or each advertising platform, whether if it's Google or Facebook, right? Plug and plays. You can actually target people that searched up, like a certain problem that your solution solves, right? So they're actively searching for that problem. So you put your solution in front of them and in front of their problem, and you're basically connecting the dots, right? It's very easy, right? So with paid advertising, like, it takes a little while for the machine or the algorithm or AI, whatever you want to call it, to actually pinpoint, right? You just have to enter the right keywords and just keep allotting funds. If you don't know what you're doing, it is easy to waste your money, but if you hit it right, you hit it on the nail, you hit it on the head. So with paid advertising, right, easy to garner views and attention straight onto your offer, right? Because this whole thing ties back to getting attention for your online business, getting attention on your offer. And in doing so, right, in doing all of this, you're essentially building your personal brand. Because if somebody doesn't follow you, or if somebody doesn't buy immediately right then and there, they're probably going to follow you, right? And like I said before, right, you have that website, they already know what you do. And now, or before, even before you started doing paid advertising or manual outreach, you have, you were posting consistently about, what you have to offer, right? So now that they followed you, they're consistently being nurtured, right? So you're essentially building a personal brand. I didn't even mention, building up a personal brand, because this whole thing basically is, and this is how you basically do it, right? But paid advertising is honestly, I think, the best way to go. And I told you should combine it with manual outreach, because if somebody follows you or interacts with your account, right, they're essentially giving you permission for you to contact them, right? They've showed interest, right? So now they literally came to you off of your ad. So now reach out to them and basically raise interest, and never try to rush, like a purchase on the customer's behalf, right? Like don't ever try to rush it. It's gonna happen, right? Everybody does it at their own time, right? And like, let's say if you are on a sales call, now sales goes into it just a little bit, but for the most part, just be cool and nonchalant about it, and make sure that you're doing the things that you should have done, or make sure you've done it right for this to be able to work. So paid advertising, driving intentional traffic, very important. So like I just said, drive targeted traffic, right? You could use Google and Facebook ads, utilize influencer marketing, create and distribute content. This is just like an overview promote offers and discounts, right? Offer promotions, free trials, discounts, and promote through ads and outreach campaigns to attract new visitors, optimize for SEO. This is like, like the marketing side of things, right? This is a whole lot to do. And I didn't introduce myself yet. I'm Les, right? And I run something called HMM Excel, and we build, launch, scale, and manage info products, right? And online businesses for experts and influencers and creators, anybody that has, a skill, right? An expert skill or expertise that you are able to monetize, right? And one of my goals, my biggest goals, right, is to, help 50 people, right? Just to put a number to it, right? I want to help 50 experts, 50 professionals, right? And get it to a certain amount, whether if it's 5 figures or 6 figures monthly, right? And it's definitely possible. It's 100% possible. And I actually want to help you guys create your own path, right? I actually want to help you guys build kind of like an online university in a way, right? Because all these new skills that are going on, all these new skills, this is a new time period, all these new opportunities that's coming about, right? It's paving a path for a new type of education. People don't have to go to universities no more. People need skills. People need skills like coding, right? I know there is coding programs out there, but not in the sense of this new climate, right? So basically, new skills and new opportunities have arisen, but the education hasn't caught up to facilitate that, right? So with you guys watching this and actually utilizing this, right, like whatever I'm teaching in this presentation, you guys would be literally ahead of the curve. So like I said, I run something called HMM Excel. I help build, launch, scale, and manage your online info product, which might even turn into a university, a very, very big brand, right? And we help you get it to 5 or 6 figures within a couple of months. And basically the way it works is basically you teach your expertise, right? We guide you with a proven template on, how to build an evergreen, info product, right? We guide you, we give you the template, and we make sure it's not going to, make sure it's done right. We help you facilitate it, right? And all you have to do is just do that, and we take care of everything else, the funnel building. We provide you the software, right? We run the ads, right? We run the influencer marketing for you, right? We organize everything, right? We help you create and distribute the content, right? We help you come up with, offers and discounts, right? We understand like the diction of language you're supposed to use when it comes to, generating demand, right? We do all these things for you just so you can focus on your craft and focus on your expertise. So that was a little bit of what we do. Now back to the presentation. Let me see. So the next thing in the presentation is optimizing conversions, right? Don't make it 101 steps to sign up for whatever you have. Make it as simple as possible, because with every extra step that you include into this process, a customer is dropped and you don't even know about it. People are lazy. You need to make it extremely, extremely, extremely easy for them to give you their money, right? Simply enough. Make it easy for visitors to sign up and convert from anonymous visitors to leads, right? Use single page signups, right? offer free trials or samples. This is how you get a lead, right? This is a lead magnet. Free trial for this. You get the first course or the first module, or you get a free sample of content, right? Or you even get into this community, right? Allow visitors to experience your product or service risk-free. This builds trust and encourages conversions, right? It's a lead magnet. Or you could even, another step with a lead magnet, come up with another PDF, or come up with a PDF that, helps them. Come up with something that's very, very valuable, right? And make them exchange their information for that. Because if they need that, right? Or kind of like going with that, the same example, like you give them a test workout, right? A test workout plan. See how they feel in a month, right? And tell them you can even feel better in 6 months, right? So the next thing is scaling, right? And right, it encompasses identifying successful processes, right? Analyze business operations to determine which processes consistently produce positive results and enable growth, right? With everything that you're doing, you should be jotting literally everything down, and keeping tabs on everything, just to make sure that you're aware of what works, what doesn't work. You leave what doesn't work in the dust, right? And double down on the stuff that actually works, right? Standardizing processes, document successful processes throughout so they can be replicated consistently across the organization, right? Automate where possible. Identify parts of standardized processes that could be automated through technology to improve efficiency, right? Like email marketing. You can send 1,000 emails with one click, right? You don't need to write down every message like bear, right? You don't need to do that. You could do a plug and play system and automate every email that you do. Automate where possible and then scale gradually. Roll out automated processes incrementally, monitor and optimize as you expand. And like I said, we help you do this, right? So if you were to work with us, right, you would just need to focus on creating the best courses possible with our guidance, right? We guide you along the way and we take care of everything else. You guys don't need to worry about this. Just leave it to the people that actually do this. Leave it to the team. And it could be a great partnership, because it is a partnership model where, right, we succeed off of each other, right? And we rather take on the big load. We rather take on the bigger responsibility of continually, marketing and upkeeping the thing, because we know the value of expertise, and we know that you should be dedicating all your time on pushing the personal brand and pushing modules and pushing the actual education, right? You need to free up the mental capacity in order to do that, right? To make your product more valuable than others. So we take on the continuous responsibility to relieve you of that. And if this sounds like something that you'll be interested in, there's going to be a link in the description to hmmexcel.org. It's an organization, a company. You could actually book a meeting and we could see if you're a good fit for your expertise and your goals. And I want to remind you that Rome was not built in a day. Stay patient, committed, and persistent. It's not going to take 3 to 5 years to build something that can last a lifetime. You can build it within a year with professional guidance, right? So I just want to remind you guys, if you would like to work with HMM just go down into the link in the description and book a call and just get ready to talk. And only motivated people, only motivated experts that want to take something to new heights, right? If you don't want to build something very, 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 very big, something like a future, online university or something like that, right? I guess it's not a great fit for you because we plan to scale individuals, to new heights. Like we really plan on doing, just creating something that hasn't been seen before, right? Right now, I'm prospecting for, traders, right? I have a whole list here. Prospecting for traders, sales coaches, sales experts, project management, coding and programmers, copywriters, these skills that are part of, the new generation of education, new generation, leading on into, the next, right? So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope it was useful. If it was useful, comment down below. If you guys have any questions for me, don't be afraid to shoot them down into the comment section as well. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the video because it really, really helps a lot. And as always, I'll keep you updated. Lush.